Okay, I'm going to make a follow-up, I guess it would be an update to my last video about concerning my HTC One Max. As I said in last video, this is a Asian version. Now, I've been watching videos about the American version, the silver and white one. And I've never had one in my hand, but I guess the back plate on the silver and white one, the removable back, is plastic. Well, on this one it's metal. You can hear it. You can feel it's actually metal. It's not plastic. So that's a difference. Some of the things. Now, I wanted to put some protection on this phone, so I went ahead and bought bumper cases. 3 of them. Just for different colors, you know. I had a red one and a black one and a purple one. Purple one came in first. That one actually, I ordered all 3 of them at the same time from Amazon, but one of them was sent from somewhere in the States and the other 2 were sent from China, so it took them a while to get here. But I noticed that on the back, on the metal back plate, let me take this down. I noticed on the metal back plate, it is black after all. I don't know if you can see. You really can't. Maybe, let me see. Right here, above the camera lens, it's starting, when it sits on the table, when it's on its back, like that, because I never put it face down. Right here, you can barely see it. I can't get, I'm still shooting again on the HTC One. I'm trying to get it to focus, but it doesn't want to focus. There, it's starting to rub just a little bit. Right there where that vertical antenna is from the regular antenna down to the camera circle. It's beginning to rub, and it's beginning to wear that. So that's another reason I know it's metal. But it's beginning to wear that off a bit. And same down at the bottom, you can maybe see where it's scuffed a little bit. Those are the 2 points where it sits on the table. Okay. So I went out, or I didn't go out, I got online on Amazon, and I bought this Poetic palette case. P-A-L-E-T-T-E, palette. I said I wanted an ultra slim case, and it is. It's ultra slim. I don't know if you can see. That's maybe 2-3 millimeters thick right there. Hard. Nice hard plastic. It's got a rubberized kind of finish to it. But I mean, it's awesome, and it does what I want it to do. It fits the back of the phone, and what I was looking for was a case that wouldn't add, because it's already a massive phone. I mean, the thing's huge, so I didn't want a case that would add a lot of bulk and heft and girth to it. So this, I mean, it's just barely, it's wonderful. I love it. And it lifts that camera lens off of the table another few millimeters. There's a little extra clearance so that it can't get scratched or anything, because the lens that's on this camera that I'm shooting with, the One, has some scratches on it just from setting it down before I got a case put on it. So I didn't want that to happen to this. Also, the way it surrounds the edges of the fingerprint scanner makes it a lot easier to figure out where my fingerprint is. Now, let's talk about this fingerprint scanner a little bit, because I've seen a lot of videos about it, and I've heard a lot of things about it's no good, it's garbage, it's junk, it never wants to work. You know, and they talk a lot about, the guys on the videos talk a lot about how the iPhone scanner and the Samsung scanner is so much superior to this one The thing about this fingerprint scanner on the HTC One Max, it works fine. It works 9.5 out of 10 times that I use it. I don't have any trouble with it. The difference is iPhone and Samsung, their scanner is right there on the front. And whether you realize it or not, whenever these guys go to unlock their phone or use the finger, they're watching what they're doing. They're looking at themselves, put their finger where it's supposed to be, and either set it there on the iPhone or swipe it on the Samsung. On this, you have to, if you want to see what you're doing, you have to roll it over. And I know that's a huge pain in the butt, you know, rolling this thing. Oh my God, I got to roll it over and look at it. Oh my God, what am I going to do with myself? I don't want to live anymore. No, it's not a big deal. But if you roll, you know, I set it up, and the way it's sitting in my hand right now, my thumb is on the on-off button. Okay, my other 3 fingers sitting out there are exactly where it's supposed to be. The corner, the right-hand lower corner of my phone is sitting right there in my palm where it's supposed to be. And in that position, that's a natural position for me, my finger is right where it's supposed to be. I can't even hardly, I'm stretching my finger out as far as it'll go, and I can barely touch the bottom of the camera lens. A lot of people complain, oh, you smudge up the camera lens trying to find it. It's very, this whole thing right here is very flush with the back. There's really not a lot of information here as far as feel to where your lens is, where your fingerprint scanner starts and stops, where your lens starts and stops, and where the sides of it. So the case helps a lot, but again, putting it in your hand the right way and then rolling it over and watching what you're doing, you almost can't go wrong. You almost can't screw it up. It's just a little bit more specific than the iPhone. And what makes it so specific is you have to turn it over and watch what you're doing. You just have to look at it, just like they do when I hit it at the bottom. They look, whether they realize they're looking or not. They give a glance real quick, whether it's a split-second glance, to make sure their thumb's in the right spot, and then go on about their business. This one, you got to do a little extra work. Turn it over, figure out what you're doing. You know, turn it over, look at it, see what you're doing, and then swipe your finger. If you put it in the palm of your hand, everybody's got different size hands, but this works for me. I have pretty large hands. That's part of the reason I bought the Max, is because the one just never fit in my hand right. I couldn't find a way to hold it. I look like Fred Sanford with arthritis trying to hold that phone. I mean, it's just my hands are just too big for that phone. This one, much better, much easier to deal with. So just roll it over, swipe, boom, it's good. No problem. It works. It's fine. You know, and I've just gotten in the habit of turn it over, swipe it, and go on about your life. You know, it's not a big deal. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this case a little bit. And I wanted to talk about the fingerprint scanner because it's not a big deal. Now, if I try to do other things, I've only got it set up with just my index finger just to unlock it. I haven't tried to unlock other apps with other fingers because that's way too awkward, because to hold it right and that's just way too. Who cares, you know? But yeah, as far as unlocking it, another thing about this case I want to talk about. See, it's perfect for me. It's not perfect for everybody. It's very thin. It's very lightweight. It's not going to provide maximum protection. Now, as I've said, I'm a truck driver. I'm in my truck doing my thing here. 90% of the time, this phone is sitting in a cradle, connected, you know, suction cup to the windshield. It's not going to, I don't need an OtterBox. I don't need a case that's going to add another half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of mass around the side and top and back. Just don't need it. It's already a large enough phone. I don't need a massive case on it. I wanted something as ultra slim as possible, just to stop the scuffing on the back. You know, the bumper cases were cool, but they weren't protecting the back plate. And like I said, that back plate is aluminum. It's anodized aluminum or painted aluminum, something, but it's starting to scuff, and you can see where it's, you know, starting to have problems for laying on its back. So this is perfect for me. The other 90% of the time it's in the window. The other 5% of the time it's back here in the bunk with me. I'm either laying there on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or or downloading and watching TV shows or movies or whatever. Like I said, this is a multimedia device for me. It's an entertainment center for me out here on the road. But I love this case. I got this case for $8 on Amazon. No, it was eBay. $8 eBay. Poetic palette case. If you've got a Max and you want a case but don't want to add a lot more girth and bulk and size to it, this is a great case to go with. It's called, the color is called Sand Black. It's in person, it almost looks like a real dark gray. It doesn't necessarily look black. It looks kind of like a real dark gray up, you know, to the naked eye. But anyway, I love it, and there it is. And like I said, it's a cool phone. It's still working great. As far as the specs go, yeah, it's got low specs according to the newer technology, because this came out in 2013. And I gotta tell you, it's just as quick. It's just as responsive. Oh, excuse me. It's just as responsive. It does everything that I want it to do. It does it very quickly. It does it very well. And the only time I ever get a lag or any type of a thing like that is when I'm dealing with web pages opening, you know, slow internet speeds. That's the only time the phone really doesn't lag. It's the internet that's lagging. But the phone itself doesn't lag. It's wonderful, you know. See, that's the internet lagging. I have slow internet speeds. I can't help it. There's nothing I can do about that, you know. Not pay the kind of money I'm paying every month. It just is what it is. Right now I'm on my ClearSpot Wi-Fi. It's not doing so great in this little town. But yeah, it's just as fast as. I mean, it just rocks, man. It's just as fast as you'd want it to be. Let's see if it'll open up Chrome. See? It's magnificent. Let's see. Do a little slacker, maybe. I don't know. No, okay, I pressed the wrong button.
Claims that he might be contemplating resignation in the aftermath of Attica brought quick denials. Insisted one Albany associate, Nelson Rockefeller wants one thing, to be president.
Like I told you in the last video, I'm a truck driver. I use Audible a lot. So that's the book I'm reading right now. This game, it's cost me a fortune, but I can't stop playing it. It's too much fun. I just love it. You know, I got a kind of a pimped out village now. It's kind of a fortress now, so it's taken me a long time to get here, but I'm digging it. So anyway, just a little update on this phone. I'm still head over heels in love with it. But yeah, that fingerprint scanner, man, you just got to roll it over and watch what you're doing. Just like you do with the Samsung, you got to watch what you're doing. Just like you do with the iPhone, you got to watch what you're doing. It just happens that they are on the front, so it's easier to just to kind of real, you know, split second, microsecond glance to see that you're on the right spot, and then it does its thing. But this one takes just a second to flip it over, swipe, and then flip back, you know. So anyway, that's it.